My mother-in-law's face turned white as a sheet, and she started trembling. You own 30% of my company. I said coldly, that's right. And today, I'm selling it. How did it come to this? It started 2 weeks ago, on my daughter's 8th birthday. My name is Rachel Thompson. I'm 38 years old. A certified public accountant. I live with my husband David and our 8-year-old daughter Emma. My father passed away 10 years ago. Dad was an investor. When he died, I inherited some stock. It was 30% of my mother-in-law Margaret's real estate company. 20 years ago, when Margaret was starting her company, she didn't have enough capital. Dad invested as an anonymous investor. He invested through an investment firm, so Margaret never knew his name. Dad told me, Rachel, I invested in your mother-in-law's company. But don't tell her. It'll just complicate things. Keep the stock. It's yours. I honored Dad's wishes and kept quiet for 10 years. For David's sake. For the sake of family peace. My mother-in-law Margaret never loved me. She never accepted that her son David married me. David, she's not right for you. She's just an accountant. You could have married someone from a better family. But I endured it. For my husband. For my daughter. Margaret doted on my sister-in-law Victoria. Victoria's daughter Sophie got expensive presents. My daughter Emma got nothing. I suffered in silence for 10 years. Today is my daughter Emma's 8th birthday. We were preparing a small party at home. Mommy, will Grandma come to my party? I don't know, honey. We invited her, though. I hope she comes. I made her a card. My heart ached. My daughter wanted to be loved by her grandmother. But her grandmother kept ignoring her. 3 p.m. My daughter Emma was looking at my phone. Mommy, look. Grandma posted something. I looked at the phone. My mother-in-law Margaret's Instagram post. Sophie's 7th birthday party. Our precious granddaughter. The photos showed a lavish party. Balloons, cake, mountains of presents. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, and Sophie. Today is Emma's birthday. But Margaret was throwing a party for Sophie. My daughter Emma stared at the screen. Trembling. Grandma, but it's my birthday. Tears spilled from my daughter's eyes. Why is Grandma having a party for Sophie? Today's my birthday. Did Grandma forget about me? I held my daughter close. Emma, I'm so sorry. I made her a card. I wanted her to come. Why doesn't she love me? My heart broke. Anger rose up inside me. I called my mother-in-law. Hello? Margaret. Today is Emma's birthday. Why are you throwing a party for Sophie? My mother-in-law laughed. Oh, was that today? Ha! Well, Sophie's birthday is more important. A child like Emma isn't worth celebrating. I heard my sister-in-law Victoria's laughter in the background. Ha ha! She actually called. I trembled with rage. What did you just say? You heard me. Emma isn't my real granddaughter. She's your daughter. Not my family. I said coldly, fine. Don't ever contact us again. Excuse me? Are you threatening me? You're nothing without David. You're just a... I hung up. My daughter Emma was looking at me. Mommy, what did Grandma say? I hugged my daughter. Emma, Grandma said something very cruel. But I want you to know, you deserve to be celebrated. You are loved. And I will always protect you. My daughter cried. I cried too. But something changed inside me. For 10 years, I'd endured. But I won't let anyone hurt my daughter. This ends now. That evening, my husband David came home. Hey, how was Emma's birthday? He stopped when he saw our faces. What happened? I told him everything. The Instagram post. Margaret's words. A child like that isn't worth celebrating. My husband's face changed. What? He immediately called his mother. Mom! What did you say to Rachel? David, honey, calm down. It was just a joke. A joke? You said Emma wasn't worth celebrating. Emma is your granddaughter. She's not my real granddaughter. She's Rachel's daughter. Rachel stole you from me. I never wanted you to marry her. My husband shouted, Mom! Emma is my daughter. Your granddaughter. How can you say that? David, choose. Me or Rachel? I'm your mother. My husband fell silent. Then he said, Then I choose Rachel. And Emma. Goodbye, Mom. He hung up. He looked at me. Rachel. I'm so sorry. I should have stood up for you sooner. I was a coward. I kept making excuses for her. But she hurt our daughter. I can't forgive that. I looked at my husband. David. I'm done with Mom. Done with that family. You and Emma are my family. That's all I need. I hugged my husband. Thank you, David. That night, my daughter Emma said to me, Mommy, maybe Grandma just forgot. Maybe it wasn't on purpose. Can we give her another chance? My heart wavered. Even after being so hurt, she's still trying to forgive her grandmother. Emma. Grandma didn't forget. Grandma said you weren't worth celebrating. Do you understand what that means? Silence. Grandma said, I'm not worth it. Yes, honey. I'm so sorry. Through her tears. But I tried so hard to be good. I always said please and thank you. I always hugged her when I saw her. Why doesn't she love me? I held my daughter. Emma, it's not your fault. You're a wonderful child. Grandma is the one who's wrong. Not you. 1 week later. I made my decision. I contacted my lawyer. I want to exercise my shareholder rights. For Thompson Realty. You own 30% of Thompson Realty? That's a significant stake. What would you like to do? I want to sell the shares. To the highest bidder. I visited my mother-in-law's company. My husband David came with me. My mother-in-law Margaret saw us in her office. What are you doing here? I told you never to contact me again. I'm not here as your daughter-in-law. I'm here as a shareholder. What? I showed her the documents. My father invested in your company 20 years ago. Through an investment firm. He owned 30% of Thompson Realty. When he died, I inherited those shares. I've been a silent shareholder for 10 years. I said nothing. For David's sake. For family peace. But you said my daughter wasn't worth celebrating. That she's not your real granddaughter. So I'm done being silent. My mother-in-law turned white. You own 30% of my company. Yes. And today, I'm selling it. My mother-in-law screamed, "You can't do that. If you sell to outsiders, I'll lose control of the company." "Please, Rachel, I'm sorry." "Sorry? You said my daughter wasn't worth celebrating. You made her cry on her birthday. You've been cruel to her for 8 years. And now you're sorry? Because you're about to lose your company?" I said coldly, "I'm selling my shares to Harrison Properties. They've wanted to acquire Thompson Realty for years. With my 30%, they can force a merger. Your company will be absorbed. You'll lose everything you built. That's the price for saying my daughter wasn't worth celebrating." My mother-in-law collapsed in tears. "Please. I'll do anything. I'll apologize to Emma. I'll change." My husband David said, "It's too late, Mom. You had 10 years to love Emma. But you chose to hate her instead. Now you live with the consequences." My sister-in-law Victoria rushed in. "What's happening? Mom, why are you crying?" "Rachel, she owns 30% of our company. She's selling it." "What?" Victoria screamed at me, "You can't do that. I was supposed to inherit this company. You're going to ruin everything." "You laughed when Mom said Emma wasn't worth celebrating. You've been cruel to my daughter for years. Now you're losing your inheritance. How does that feel?" Victoria collapsed in tears. I turned my back. "Let's go, David." We left the company. The air outside was cold. But my heart felt light for the first time. 2 weeks later, the stock sale was completed. Harrison Properties acquired Thompson Realty. My mother-in-law lost her CEO position. The local newspaper ran a story. "Local real estate queen loses control of company." My mother-in-law's phone kept ringing. Friends, business partners, church community. Everyone knew the truth. That she insulted her granddaughter. And lost everything as a consequence. One day, my mother-in-law came to our house. The doorbell rang. I took a deep breath. I opened the door. Margaret stood there. Her face was pale. Her eyes were swollen. "Rachel." "David, please. I've lost everything. Please, forgive me." She looked at Emma. "Emma. Grandma is so sorry. Please forgive me. I was wrong." My daughter Emma looked at her grandmother. Thinking. I stayed silent. This was for my daughter to decide. "Grandma, I wanted to forgive you. I really did. When you had Sophie's party on my birthday, I thought maybe you just forgot. I wanted to give you another chance. But Mommy told me what you said. That I wasn't worth celebrating. That really hurt. I tried so hard to be good. I always hugged you when I saw you. I made you cards. But you didn't love me. Mommy told me that people who love themselves don't let others hurt them. So, I can't forgive you right now. Maybe someday. But not today." My mother-in-law collapsed in tears. "Emma, please. Grandma, I hope you can be kind. But I can't teach you. I have to protect my own heart." I was so proud of my daughter. My 8-year-old daughter made her own decision. I said to my mother-in-law, "You heard Emma's words. Leave. Rachel, please." My husband David said, "Mom, go." You've done enough damage. We don't want you here. My mother-in-law stood up. David. I'm your mother. My husband stood firm. You're not my mother anymore. A mother doesn't insult her grandchild. A mother doesn't control her son through fear. A mother doesn't destroy families. You did all of that. Rachel is my wife. Emma is my daughter. They're my family. You're not. Goodbye, Mom. My mother-in-law crumbled. David, don't. It's over. We're over. Leave. My mother-in-law left. Her back was hunched. The once proud woman looked small. But I felt nothing. No sympathy. No guilt. Just relief. I hugged my daughter. Emma, I'm so proud of you. Mommy, was I too mean? No, honey. You were brave. You stood up for yourself. That's not mean. That's strong. 1 month later. My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Is this Rachel Thompson? Yes. I'm a former employee of Thompson Realty. I wanted to thank you. Thank me? Margaret Thompson was the worst boss. She insulted employees, bullied people, nobody could stand up to her. But you got her out. Harrison Properties' new management is wonderful. Everyone's happy. So, thank you. The call ended. I smiled. My mother-in-law's reign of control had ended at the company too. 2 months later. My sister-in-law Victoria's husband divorced her. Victoria moved back home. But my mother-in-law no longer had a home. She lost the company and had to sell her house. Margaret and Victoria moved into a small apartment. The community avoided them. Even the church didn't welcome them. Everyone knew. They had insulted their granddaughter. And lost everything as a consequence. One day, my husband David asked me, Rachel, do you regret it? Regret what? What you did to Mom. Taking away her company. I looked at my husband. No. Not once. Why not? Because she told my daughter she wasn't worth celebrating. An 8-year-old child. Her own granddaughter. I could never forgive someone like that. But Mom lost everything. She chose that. I stayed silent for 10 years. I never mentioned Dad's shares. To keep family peace. But she hurt my daughter. That was the line. My husband hugged me. You were right. I don't regret it either. 3 months later. My father-in-law Richard came to see us. Margaret didn't know. Richard looked exhausted. Rachel, David. I need to talk. We sat in the living room. He took a deep breath. I want to apologize for Margaret. I should have stopped her behavior. But I was a coward. I was afraid of her. Emma, you're a wonderful child. I'll never forget that you were hurt. My daughter Emma looked at him. Thank you, Grandpa. I've filed for divorce. I can't be with Margaret anymore. She won't change. But I want to stay connected to you. Be part of Emma's life. If you'll let me. I looked at my husband. He nodded. Richard, of course. Emma loves you. My father-in-law cried. Thank you. Thank you. 6 months later. My daughter Emma's 9th birthday. We had a family party. My husband David, daughter Emma, and father-in-law Richard. The table had cake, balloons, presents. My daughter was smiling. "Mommy, this is the best birthday ever." "Why, honey?" "Because I have you and Daddy. That's all I need." My husband David said, "Emma, I'm sorry Grandma hurt you. But I want you to know, you deserve to be celebrated. Every single day." "I know, Daddy. Mommy taught me." My father-in-law Richard gave my daughter a present. "Emma, this is for you." My daughter opened the box. Inside was a gold bracelet. An inscription inside read, "You are loved. You are worthy. Grandpa Richard." My daughter cried. Tears of happiness. "Thank you, Grandpa. I love you." "I love you too, Emma." That night, after my daughter fell asleep, I looked out the window. Stars were shining. My husband put his hand on my shoulder. "What are you thinking about?" "I'm thinking we did it. We built something good. It's not perfect, but it's ours." "What about Margaret?" I took a deep breath. "I hope she finds peace. But that's not my responsibility anymore. My responsibility is here. This family. This home. This love." My husband kissed me. "I love you, Rachel. I love you too." We became a real family. A family connected by love, not blood. And that was everything to us. 1 year later. My daughter Emma's 10th birthday. We threw a party in our new home's backyard. Smoke rose from the barbecue grill. The table had hot dogs, hamburgers, potato chips. Balloons swayed in the wind. 10 of my daughter's friends came. Laughter filled the air. My father-in-law Richard was there too. He had divorced Margaret and was living in a new apartment. My daughter loved her grandpa. "Mommy, look. Megan and I made a cake." "That's wonderful, honey." My daughter ran off, playing with her friends, laughing, looking happy. My husband David sat next to me. "She looks happy." "Yes, she does." "Do you remember a year ago?" I nodded. "Of course. I could never forget. When you decided to sell the shares, I was scared." "Of what?" "That Mom would hate you. That the family would fall apart. But now I see, this is real family." I squeezed my husband's hand. Family connected by love, not blood. Yes. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. I looked up. Who could that be? I walked to the door. I opened it. My mother-in-law Margaret stood there. I froze. It had been a year. Margaret had changed. Her hair had more gray. Her face was gaunt. Her clothes were cheap. Her former elegance was gone. "Rachel, please, let me talk." I said nothing. She continued. "I know it's Emma's birthday. I brought a present. Can I give it to her?" I said coldly, "No. Please. I've changed." "Changed?" "A year ago, you said my daughter wasn't worth celebrating. And now you've changed?" "I was wrong. I admit it, but please, give me one more chance." My husband David stood behind me. "Mom, leave." "David, please. I'm your mother." A mother doesn't control her son through fear. A mother doesn't insult her grandchild. You're not my mother anymore. Tears fell from my mother-in-law's eyes. But I have no one else. Victoria blames me. Richard divorced me, all my friends avoid me. Please. That's what you chose. I started to close the door. Wait! She shouted. At least let me see Emma. Let me apologize. Please. At that moment, my daughter Emma came up behind me. Mommy, who is it? She saw Margaret. Grandma. My mother-in-law fell to her knees. Emma. Grandma is so sorry for hurting you. Can you forgive me? My daughter stared at her. Long silence. Then she said, Grandma, a year ago, I still wanted to forgive you. I thought you would change. But not anymore. I'm 10 now. Mommy taught me. People who love themselves protect themselves. You told me I wasn't worth celebrating. That really hurt. I still dream about it. I hear your words. Mommy told me that forgiving someone and letting them back into your life are different things. I forgive you, Grandma. So your heart can have peace. But I can't let you back into my life. Because I have to protect my own heart. You couldn't do that. So I will. Goodbye, Grandma. I hope you find happiness. But not with me anymore. My mother-in-law's face crumbled. Emma, please. I have nothing left. My daughter shook her head. That's what you chose. Not me. She looked up at me. Mommy, can I go back to the party? My friends are waiting. Of course, honey. My daughter ran off. I heard laughter. I looked at my mother-in-law. You heard my daughter's words. This is the last time. Don't come back. But Rachel. I'll have my lawyer file a restraining order. If you come near my daughter again, I'll call the police. My mother-in-law stood up. You took everything from me. No. You lost everything yourself. When you hurt my daughter. Choices always have consequences. This is yours. I closed the door. I could hear her crying. But I felt nothing. I went back to the backyard. My daughter was playing games with her friends. Laughing. Free. My husband put his arm around my shoulder. Are you okay? Yes. More than ever. That night, after the party ended, my daughter came to my room. Mommy, thank you. For what, honey? For protecting me. For teaching me that Grandma isn't someone to be afraid of. For teaching me I get to choose for myself. I forgave Grandma today. Not for her sake, but for mine. I remember what you said. Forgiving someone doesn't mean bringing them back into your life. Forgiveness is about freeing your own heart. So I forgave Grandma. But she's not in my life anymore. That's okay, right? I hugged my daughter. That's perfect, Emma. You stood up for yourself. That's the most important thing. Do you think I'm getting stronger? You're the strongest child in the world. My daughter smiled. I learned from you. 2 months later. My father-in-law Richard brought major news. Margaret left town. Nobody knows where she went. Victoria went with her. I felt nothing. No relief. No sadness. Just peace. Is that okay? My husband asked. Yes. They chose their path. We chose ours. David kissed me. You did the right thing. I know. 3 months later. My accounting firm was growing. New clients were coming in. My reputation was spreading. One day, a client said, "Mrs. Thompson, I heard your story about your mother-in-law's company stock. How you stood up for your daughter. When I heard that, I wanted to work with you. I want to work with a strong woman." I smiled. Thank you. 6 months later. My father-in-law Richard introduced us to his new girlfriend. Her name was Susan. She was kind. Gentle. She loved my daughter Emma. "Emma, you're a wonderful child." "Thank you, Aunt Susan." Susan said to me, "Richard told me your story. What you did for your daughter. You're an amazing mother." I smiled. Thank you. I just protected my daughter. That's the most important thing. 1 year later. My daughter Emma said to me, "Mommy, thank you." "For what, honey?" "For teaching me that it's okay to be angry. That I don't have to forgive someone if they hurt me. I used to think good kids forgive everyone. But now I know, good kids protect their hearts too." I hugged my daughter. "Emma, you're the bravest child I know. I learned from you." We held each other. Outside the window, the sun was shining. A new day. A new life. And we were truly free. 2 years later. Thanksgiving Day. We were in the dining room of our new home. The table had a big turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, cranberry sauce, pumpkin pie. I made it all. My daughter Emma sat down. She was 12 now. My husband David sat next to me. My father-in-law Richard and Susan were there too. Nobody insulted me. Nobody told my daughter to eat on the floor. "Mommy, can I say grace?" I smiled. "Of course, honey." My daughter folded her hands. We all did the same. "God, thank you for this meal. Thank you for Mommy. Thank you for Daddy. Thank you for Grandpa and Aunt Susan. Thank you for our family. And thank you for teaching me that family is about love, not blood. Amen." I cried. But this time, tears of happiness. My husband squeezed my hand. "I'm proud of us." "Why?" "Because we survived. Because you protected your daughter. Because we built a real family. Not the family Mom wanted. The family we chose." I kissed my husband. "I'm proud of us too." After dinner, my daughter said to me, "Mommy, can I ask you something?" "Anything, honey." "Do you ever think about Grandma Margaret?" "Sometimes." "Are you angry?" "No. I'm not angry anymore." "Are you sad then?" "Not that either." My daughter tilted her head. "Then what do you feel?" I thought about it. "I feel nothing. She was part of my life. But she's not anymore. That's all." My daughter nodded. "Me too. I think about her sometimes, but it doesn't hurt anymore. You taught me. Letting go of the past doesn't mean forgetting it. It just means not giving it power." I hugged my daughter. "You're a wise child. I learned from you." That night, after my daughter fell asleep, my husband and I sat on the porch. Stars were shining. "Rachel, can I ask you something?" "What?" "Do you regret it?" "Selling the shares." Cutting off Mom. I looked up at the night sky. I've never regretted it. Not once. Why not? Because I protected my daughter. That's a mother's job. Your mother didn't do that. But I did. But what if Mom had really changed? What if she truly apologized? I looked at my husband. Your mother came to apologize twice. Once when she lost the company. Once at Emma's 10th birthday. But both times, she apologized for herself. For what she lost. Not for hurting my daughter. A real apology is for the victim. Not the perpetrator. Your mother never apologized for Emma's sake. My husband nodded. You're right. You were always right. We held each other. The wind blew gently. We were at peace. 3 years later. My daughter Emma said to me, "Mommy, I wrote an essay at school today." About what? About my hero. Who did you choose? You, Mommy. I was surprised. Me? Yeah. The teacher said a hero isn't someone with power. A hero is someone who stands up to protect the people they love. You did that. When Grandma hurt me, you stood up. You sold the shares. You protected me. That's why you're my hero. I cried. Tears of happiness. Emma, you're my hero. You're 12 years old and so strong and wise. I learned from you. We held each other. And I knew. This was victory. Not taking the company from my mother-in-law. Not banishing her. The victory was that my daughter grew up strong. That she learned to love herself. That she learned to stand up for herself. That was the real victory. My mother-in-law Margaret said, "A child like that isn't worth celebrating." But now, my daughter knows. She has worth. She deserves to be celebrated. She is loved. And we became a real family. A family connected by love, not blood. My mother-in-law lost everything. Her company, her status, her reputation, her family. But the biggest loss was losing her granddaughter's love forever. Something money can't buy. Something power can't give you. That's what she lost. And that's what we gained. This is our story.